first thing, posture-wise, you got a little bit of a steep posture right here. So that's reducing a little bit of rotation in your trunk. But, you know, some of the exercises you could do is just get up against a wall, put your chin in, the back of your head on the wall, pull your shoulder blades down, and bring your stomach in. Now you're at a 90-degree angle with your feet on the ground, extended out, your chest back up against the wall. You're working on trying to stay tall. And then that's one exercise. It's just an isometric hold with your chest tall. The other one is put your hands on the top of your knees, pull your shoulder blades down, pull your chin in. Just hold that position for 30 seconds and practice in front of the mirror. Now, to get in posture, you want to slide your hands down till you reach the top of your knees. Now, in your case, you do have long arms, so it won't. For me, I have really short arms, so I have to bend more forward. But the big key is to pull your shoulder blades down and back and pull your chin and just practice that. Now, I don't expect you to go out on the golf course and do that. It's just something to work on. Now, the other thing is, it's very obvious, is your shoulders and your feet are both way to the right. I'm sorry, way to the left, the other right. So you've got a closed shoulder position. Your feet are to the left of the target. Your shoulders are to the left of the target. So, you know, so for me, that's one problem that is easy to fix. You just have to be careful. You tend to get your shoulders this way. So we're going to square them up a little bit more. And then club goes a little bit across the line. You see how it gets pointed a little to the left. That's not terrible. I mean, but, you know, for me, I'm not opposed to any of the high hands because you have long arms and that matches your body type. You have long arms and I think your wingspan exceeds your height, so you should have a high swing. So that's good. And your delivery to the club, you get a little bit steep right there. The club gets a little over. The shaft should be almost parallel when your hands and the club shaft.
Yeah, I've had trouble doing that.
You get a little steep, yeah. Well, I'll show you how to fix that. It's really going to be the first move, and this is something that you're going to work on with an exercise called a hip twister. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel like you're moving your lower body segment without moving your upper body. And again, this is just an exercise. It's not something I want you to think about in the golf swing. So what I want to do is I want to take the cross the line away, and I want to show you, you know, like I said, I think your hands are high, but they might be a little too high and just a little bit out of position. You know, and I want to see if I can find a guy. This guy right here reminds me a lot of you here. See how the handle stays in, pointed toward his chest on the takeaway. See how your club gets a little in behind you a little bit? That's okay. It's not a big deal. You just know how do you avoid that? You just take your hands out of it. The lead wrist angle is not going to move. And you're just going to turn. And as you turn, you're not doing anything with that handle. It just stays pointed. Yeah, I want to take your hands out of your swing, because when you start to use your hands on the initiation of the movement, somehow you're going to have to use them to get the club back to square.
Sometimes when I get it like so far this way with my hands, it, like the lead stick getting way across.
Correct. Right. The way you get in, inside and across the line is those two work together. The more you get inside, the more you're going to go up across. You know, and Nicholson, so the reason I'm showing you Mickelson is because he has the same issues. But you see, I'd like to see your club look a little more that way at the top, you know. You're the same height as him. He's about 6'3".
Yeah, and mine's a foot and a half left of his.
Right, right. So, you know, what you're going to do in the mirror, Mike, is you're just going to work on getting your lead forearm this way a little more. As you go back, you're just going to go this way. Your hands are, yeah. So just work on pointing that club shaft more over here at the top. So you just stand in front of the mirror and just work on that a little bit. Yeah. That's why you're hitting these pitch outs to the right. sorry, to the left, is because the more you get across, the more you drop it in, and the more it's going to go into out. So what I want to see is, the other thing I want to see is how much you are into out with the launch monitor numbers. But it's, it's cleaning up that backswing a little bit. I'm more going to focus on the backswing. The downswing is sort of if Phil Mickelson can be the best player in the world with that downswing plane that you're on, which is the same one he's on, the question is, do you get narrow? Narrow meaning how close your hands are to your chest. If you're getting all jammed up in here, I don't think so. I think what he does is he gets here and he's going to get narrow. See how narrow that is? He gets steep and narrow. You keep your width by measuring how much your hands are from the center of your chest, and from this angle, I don't think you're getting too narrow. That's pretty good position with the club. You want the club head to run right through the hands. So overall, we're going to get most of your problems going to be solved with a better setup. As long as the club the shaft in your hands don't get too independently manipulated, I think a lot of this stuff will go away. Yeah, you got a lot of nice release of your lower half there through the ball. Yeah, looks very similar. Let's look at how your delivery of the club head. The club delivery looks pretty good. It doesn't look flipped. So I'm happy with what I see there. So, in review, we're going to get your shoulders a little more square. We're going to take your hands out of the takeaway. We're going to try to get that club looking a little more on line at the top. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes, when I get it really far under, I do kind of I don't really hit a lot of right shots, but I feel like I hit right shots because I feel like my hands sometimes try to
Yeah, right. Yeah, because when that club head gets behind your hands from being across the line, you want to use your hands. But we'll see just exactly what's going on with your path. Yeah, the takeaway, I want to get out of that takeaway, getting in behind you a little bit. All right. Yeah. Got a lot of hip rotation. You're fast with your hips. Obviously, he's not your height. He's short, but the only reason I brought him up is just to show you where you're trying to get you to go on your swing. See how he keeps the handle pointed in? Handle pointed in there toward the body. And then, right. So you got a little bit of movement in your hands. And then that club looking a little more parallel at the top. You can see the club head right through that triangle there. And he has a lower right elbow, trail elbow. It's down more, but that's okay. We're eventually what I want to do is sort of get your lead arm more across your shoulder. It's a little too high. I'd like it to be a little more across the shoulder there. But the most important thing is getting that club to look a little more parallel at the top, All right.